Well, hello, everyone. This is Jeannie White from Social Connections on Passionate World Talk Radio. And tonight I have Miss Sheila Wilson, and she is the president and CEO of Stop Here Care Violence. And welcome, Sheila.
Hey, thank you, Jeannie. Thank you for inviting me on tonight.
Oh, that's great. Now, how are you? What is something you want to be able to tell the listening audience on some updates on what is going on at Stop Here Care Violence?
Well, for the people that don't know what Stop Healthcare Violence is, I have been working on this since 2008. When we first started this, we just wanted to heighten the awareness to the public to let them know that healthcare workers get assaulted. 70 to 80% of the healthcare workers get assaulted by the patients that we're taking care of, and their family members or their associates or friends, I guess I should call them. It's really difficult, and people don't seem to understand that this is happening in the hospital setting, but it does happen. The other thing is the advocacy for the victims. We thought we needed to help them. Many of them, after their assaults, they get anxiety attacks and PTSD and so many other things. And 3 of my coworkers are out on disability because of the attacks. The other thing we wanted to talk about is legislation change. And as of right now, the state of Massachusetts has a law that is a misdemeanor if a healthcare worker is assaulted, whether or not she gets on disability, whether she's got 2 arms broken, 2 legs broken, whatever, it's a misdemeanor. So those are the 3 things that we are trying to do. So as of right now, I had just being on this show will heighten the awareness to the public. And
Correct.
That would be good. And we've been doing that all along, just talking to groups, going on cable, and that's what's needed, to let people be aware, to continue to talk about the assaults that healthcare workers are having. And the second, for advocacy for the victims, we started a Facebook page, Heal the Healers. And this month, I'm going to have Susie Berg, who is a certified lifestyle coach, sorry. And she's going to come on cable. It is the 22nd of January. And so that will be recorded, and it will be probably put up by the 1st of February.
Okay. Now, where
So
can they see? Yeah, where can they see this cable show that you have?
Oh, I should have mentioned it. It's Quincy Cable. And also Quincy Cable puts it to YouTube. So it's under QCTV. And all I have to do is write that in, and then I can put Susie Berg or Sheila Wilson, whichever. So they can get that. I'm not sure. It should be up by February. There's work to do after the recording of it. The third thing is heightening the awareness of legislation. Now, this is a long going. When Deval Patrick was a governor, he changed it, just a no law, into a misdemeanor. And we've been working on it to try to change that law since 2010. Now it's only 2020. It's only been 10 years. But what it is that if we don't get a felony law, like 35 other states, not that it's going to make a huge difference. I don't have a crystal ball or anything, but at least it would give us a little bit more power when we bring these people to court. And that would be good. And on Wednesday, you and I are going to go to the State House. We have a meeting with Senator Brady. And we've already met with Senator Tucker. And we'll probably stop by and see a few of our friends that that we talk to all the time. And
right, yeah.
The aides.
I know, I'm bringing the spreadsheet.
That's right. And you like your spreadsheets. So the bill, I can hold it up. You want me
Yeah.
to do that?
Sure.
This is an M&A sheet. And
Bring it up a little higher, Sheila. A little higher.
Oh,
So, okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
So M&A does a lot of work on trying to push the bill. And it's a Senate bill, and that's with Senator Brady, and that's 838. And the House bill, let me see, I got that
1578.
right, and that's Representative Tucker. And
Uh-huh.
for the people that don't know, Representative Tucker was a police officer, and then he became chief of police in Salem, which is pretty good because he knows what the police do.
Right.
And one of the biggest issues for us nurses in the emergency room is when we called them to come and take this violent patient away, they couldn't do that. And so it's very simple, the answer. They didn't see it. They can't drag somebody out. They didn't see the assault, no matter how many people told them. So we're learning a lot.
Oh,
But
yeah, we are
basically-
definitely. Yep. And talk about Heal the Healer site. How is that working? And do you need volunteers as such?
Oh, we can always use volunteers. Volunteers are the backbone of this whole Stop Healthcare Violence, and we need support. And with Heal the Healers, it started off with people just wanting to start a group that anybody, but especially nurses could go and say, this is what's happening to me. And it would be just discussion on Facebook. It would be nothing about, I need to get money from my uncle or, anything, no backstabbing. If somebody had an issue, there would be no problem with that. And you answer the issue. You don't put anybody down.
Okay.
And so it's been doing okay. And a lot of people need to just understand that nurses, when they get assault, it's not that it just goes away. Maybe you get a little, slap, or you might get a punch. That's not too bad. But as the assaults get harder, and you really, like the person that got attacked, and the person was on the nurse's back and nobody could get her off her back, or the person that was pushed to the floor and lost the hardware in her shoulder. And I mean, these assaults are bad.
Mm-hmm.
And it takes an awful lot. They wake up in the middle of the night in agony. And so that's tough for these nurses, and it's a place to go to that they can discuss their issues.
Right.
Without any issues.
Right. And that they can help out. Other people can help each other with suggestions, or maybe, talking about maybe doing some yoga or meditation, retreats, whatever it is. It's a healing place, really, that Heal the Healer site on Facebook, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's what this Susie Berg, being a health style, what am I saying that right? Lifestyle coach.
Mm-hmm.
She will be talking about nutrition and drinking a lot of water, meditation, yoga, exercise, all of this. And she'll be on the cable television. But people don't realize the simple things that we can do to help us. And Jeannie, you're one that was talking about breathing.
Oh, yeah.
And how important breathing is and how we don't breathe. It's, there's a technique to it.
Right.
And take these, couple of breaths, nice deep breaths, and hold it for a second or two and then breathe out.
Right.
Lowers your heart rate.
Mm-hmm. What it does is help reduce the stress level so that you can start thinking a little clearer, and not be so uptight and stressed out that you're not thinking correctly, or maybe you're just like a little panic attack you're getting. But it does help out if you do 5 of them. 5 deep breaths works wonders, believe it or not.
One of the nurses that I know, every time she stopped at a red light, that's what she would do. And I said, is your job that stressful? And she just started to laugh. She didn't enlarge on it. She says, but she really enjoyed the fact that she knew how to do this.
Yeah.
And it does help.
It's just amazing. It really is. It just does well. You know, the phone never rings, right? Well, during the day, but I'm doing an interview now and the phone is ringing. I mean, you can't win for trying over here. You try hard.
No, well, I just had my phone ring.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Like,
It's just crazy. But anyways, get on to whatever, what we were talking about, really about the bill and about the healing site, and also your site, Stop Healthcare Violence on Passionate. We're on Facebook.
yes, there's a lot going on with Stop Healthcare Violence on Facebook and on my website. We just recently had on my website, this woman from Germany wrote to me and wanted to know if she could put up a story. And the story was about how, I believe it was her friend that was a physician in China, and how she was stabbed to death by a patient's family member. And young girl, doctor, mother, wife, and probably daughter. And the violence is not just in Massachusetts. It's all over the world. There was a big thing about Australia, and they're saying that they get so much violence, and now they're trying to do it, try to protect the nurses and physicians. But it's very hard. Stop Healthcare Violence has a lot of activity there. And the more activity, the better it is for Stop Healthcare Violence. Let people know what's going on. And it's growing. And so isn't the violence, though.
Unfortunately, but at least we have a place where people can get some information. And there is a pretty good following on that Stop Healthcare Violence, because every time I post for you, it's always excellent what we did. We just did a little bit of a series every day. I posted something. So every day, every once in a while, we're going to do different things like that for you on that Stop Healthcare Violence. But, to show that you have some active pages on Facebook and also your book.
Yes, do
you have a picture of your book
right here? See?
Put it up a little higher, Sheila. Okay, yeah, up. No, over to the. All right, now up higher. Okay, yeah, that's good. And they can get it on Amazon, correct?
Yes, they can. That's the book is simple, to the point, and I really should be writing another book because things have changed a lot. And it's so we'll see what happens in the meantime.
Yeah. And also you're doing blogging also, correct?
I am. I've done the blogging, yes. And that's on my site. So if they go on my website, stophealthcareviolence.org, that website, and look under blog, you'll be able to read them.
Yeah. Right now I'm just showing your contact, your I put on here volunteers, etc., in your website. I mean, your email address is there for you.
That's good, Cheney. As I'm sitting here,
I got a little ticker. Can you see it?
Yes, I see that. 1578, bill to a felony. Very good. That's the House bill. You're going to do the Senate bill too? That is pretty good thing. I've never been on Facebook Live before. So we're the other day I was at a party, and one of the girls that was there was telling me how she is getting all of her friends at this big condo place, and she's texting them.
Right. Here she is, Sheila.
And how she can get these people to call the representatives and the senators. So, you go to Boston State House and you can find your legislature, and you put your address and your zip code, and they pick out the senator and the representative. Just call them up on the telephone, write them a letter, or go in person to see them.
Sheila, we lost connection there for a little while, for a few seconds. We lost connection.
That's why you didn't answer my question. You have the.
No, I didn't. So I've got to figure out how to break out that little blank space there. I'm sure somebody can help me out with that. And see if I can get it fixed. Oh my God, I can't believe that happened.
Oh, between the telephone calls and everything else.
Yeah, I know.
I was talking the whole time while you were.
Well, I didn't hear a word you said, so I think I don't know. I'll have to figure out how we can take out that blank space for a little bit, but we'll figure it out, Give me a day or so now before that happens. So anyways, what were you saying before the internet dropped out for a little while?
Well, you were talking about the ticker tape here.
Yeah.
And I said, you have the House bill up there, but you don't have the Senate bill up there. And and so I said, can you do that too? And so you never answered me. And then I just went on, blah, 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 about how the bill is and how we're going to go into the State House.
Yeah.
Wednesday. And talk to everybody and pass out the bills. And then I was talking about the party I was at and how the girl that was there said that she was going to teach a lot of the tenants how to support the bill by going to the State House and going to the site, the Boston State House, and looking up, find your legislature and putting in the address and the zip code. And that will bring up your senator and your representative. And then all you have to do is call them up or mail them or go in person and chit chat with them.
Right.
So
I just want to tell you, Holly Brown's on. She just said hello.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hi, Holly. How are you? Now, how did you know? How did that show up? How do you know?
Because I have a comment section. There's a comment section here. And I can see who's talking, but I just said hi. I just told Holly hi, so continue talking.
So what we're trying to really do is just to get more information out there to the public. Let them know that we get assaulted. We want to make sure that the victims of these assaults know that we're out there and that we will help them. I've gone to court with several of my coworkers and other people that have been assaulted and kind of sat with them while they did their statements and listened to what the judge is going to do. We've gone to District Attorney Michael Morrissey and chit-chatted with him about what we can do. Does he think the bill is going to pass and, what his thoughts are on it. We went up and saw Senator Keenan and got his assaults. I didn't mean to say that. Senator Keenan and his thoughts, not his assaults, but he listened very nice, and he had a secretary with him who was dynamite. She was right there listening to us, taking notes, giving us information.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure he's for the felony law. He's talking about more about security. And that kind of is an issue because a lot of hospitals are now having security that are hands off. And since I'm not working in the hospital anymore, I'm not sure how security works if they can't put their hands down and help hands on and help the nurse or doctor or whoever is getting assaulted.
Right.
So, I'm not sure they're going to be able to talk everybody down all at once, and who has to give the order to put restraints on a patient. is it the physician yells, get them tied down, or I don't know. And I've written to a couple of places, but I haven't been getting any responses back to find out why. All I've read is that they went on hands off because they were getting sued. And so I don't know what that's all about.
Yeah, well, it just amazes me. You're getting sued. People are, being tied down. They're in a hospital. They're there and acting irrational. And for the sake of the staff, if the staff gets hurt, they're not going to be able to take care of this person. So
Right.
I think people just like to sue sometimes. That's just my personal opinion. They want to go to the doctors or they want to be at the hospital, yet they can act as rudely and wrong or whatever, however they act in the hospital, and they'll turn around and sue the hospital. Doesn't make sense to me. What do you go to the hospital for in the first place for? Is to get better, right?
Right. Well,
Yeah.
That's what you would think, but the
Well,
hospitals are now turning into hotel rooms.
Well, they're not hotels. They're really not hotels. I
Well,
can't
yeah.
understand how they can call it. What do they call them now? It's not a patient. What do they call them now?
Customer.
A customer. So when the hell is that a customer? What is that all about? You're not a customer. You're a patient. You're there. You're sick.
Right. I wish we had. Maybe next time we can go back to customer, because we had this wonderful interview with Dr. Anderson, Charlie Anderson.
Oh, yeah, Dr. Anderson.
And he talks about, what the customer is, the customer and versus patient. A customer doesn't come in and demands food right away. A patient usually is too sick to eat. And he goes on, and that would be a good program for us to do. And it's true.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Oh, that's what I just did for you, though. What was it? I did 18 suggestions that you and Dr. Anderson had a few years ago?
Yes.
And I did one every day?
Yes.
A different suggestion. So maybe, wouldn't it be great if we get Dr. Anderson on?
Oh, that would be fab. He is really a hot ticket.
Oh, my God, he's so funny. He really is.
To work with him.
Oh, God. I'm not even a nurse, and I would have loved to work with him. He's so funny. He really is. He's a character, but he makes sense. He does. But he used to be an ER doctor.
Yes, and he was the director of the ER. Yeah. And he worked the shifts, and many of the ER directors work the shifts, so they keep their hand in it.
Uh-huh.
But there's so much going on in the ER, and there's so much going on with the primary care practices too.
Right,
so
right.
That's people, we're losing our physicians, we're losing our nurses. Well, healthcare, it's like,
who wants to be a nurse, really, if you're going to be hit all the time by these patients that are rude and obnoxious?
No, yes, and then there's a lot that aren't rude and obnoxious.
Oh, of course there are. Yeah, of course there's not. Not everyone is rude and obnoxious, but the ones that go in there, they're the ones that cause all the problems. The small minority of people, and therefore we all pay for it. Right. Because of their rudeness, everyone, I don't know, but that's just my opinion, and if they don't like it, it's tough. It's the truth,
It's, now the EMTs and all that, the ambulance operators and all that, this bill is for them too.
Oh God. Yeah. The bill, everyone really. EMTs get it blasted, don't they?
The EMS gets really assaulted. I don't know if we ever lost the EMS people, what would other people do? The sick people. We used to have people that would call EMS telling them that they were really sick and they need to go to our hospital, and all they wanted to do, they'd jump out of the ambulance and go home. All they wanted was a ride. And there they are getting their blood pressure and their heart rate. And I mean, the EMT is working.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's many stories. There was one about the ambulance driver. He stopped and he got out and he was assaulted. And then the guy jumped in. That's what he wanted. They wanted to take the ambulance. They needed a getaway car. The problem was the patient was still in the ambulance.
Oh, that's too bad. See,
that was like a nightmare.
yeah, it is a nightmare. Really is a nightmare.
So lots
Honestly.
of things happen.
Yes. But you know what? Write Dr. Anderson and see if he'd be interested in coming. I'm telling you, folks, you would love this guy. You would love him for a doctor because he's so honest. He really is.
All right, I will do that.
Yeah.
Anything else?
No, there isn't anything else. And do you want to give any parting words to anyone? And talk about, like I said, we're going to tell everyone, did we already talk about that we're going to the State House on Wednesday?
Yes,
Yeah.
I've mentioned that, I think twice.
Okay, good. So people know. We'll give an update on that. We'll do an update.
Right. And if anybody wants to come on cable, a nurse that was assaulted or a doctor or an EMT, any of those folks that the bill is targeted towards, give me a call or my email address, sheilaw6@comcast.net. And anybody that wants to do that, anybody that has not called their representative or their senator, please call them. If you have an issue with that, email me and I will help you with that. If we don't get the support, we're not going to ever get this bill passed.
All right. And that's what you're looking for,
Really
support.
important.
Yeah.
And the other thing is volunteers. Anybody that wants to help do something, awesome. Just contact me. That's
Okay.
all.
I'm scrolling her email address as we speak. All right.
This is awesome. Thank you, Jeannie White.
Thank you very much, Sheila, for coming on. I appreciate it. Honestly, we'll have this again. So I want to thank everyone that was listening or watching. I really appreciate it. And we'll have Sheila Wilson on again, and hopefully we'll get Dr. Anderson on at the same time. I want to thank everyone from Jeannie White, Social Connections on Passionate World Radio. Thank you, everyone. Have a great evening.
Thank you. Bye-bye.